I am Joe Pappalardo, the author of Boomtown, the true story of the wickedest town in Texas. And it is about the town of Borger, Texas in 1927. That's Prohibition era. That's gambling, bootlegging, speakeasies, all of that mixed in with an oil town that grew up extremely fast, 40,000 people in 90 days. Whenever I read a newspaper account, modern or in history, where it is over-the-top language, like the Sodom of the prairies, the wickedest town, I always think, all right, there's hyperbole, there's exaggeration. I'm prepared to be disappointed. And Borger did not disappoint with the wickedness. It was more violent and stranger than I ever gave it credit for. It was intended to be bad. The founders wanted it to be bad so that people would move there and then they would have access to all the illicit profits that can be made off the vice industry. So it was bad by design. It didn't get bad, it was bad. A lot of towns in Texas in the 1920s were bad, but Borger was impossible to ignore. And that's because of the murders that happened there. There were 3 law enforcement officers that were killed there. And when that happens, the governor can't ignore it anymore. So the Texas Rangers come in to clean up, and not just any Texas Ranger comes in, it's Frank Hamer, the senior captain, and just a few years away from shooting Bonnie and Clyde. And that is the inherent conflict in the entire book. Is Frank Hamer coming into Borger, and is the toughest lawman in Texas going to be able to clean up the wickedest town in the state? There's something very interesting about the Texas Rangers' job, where a small group of people come into a troubled place and try to evince some kind of change, try to fix it. And they're outsiders, and they have to make a big change in a small amount of time to make the governor happy. And that's just inherently dramatically interesting to me. So the people who ran Borger were very interested in keeping the vice industry alive. When the Rangers came in, they had very few partners to count on in a place like Borger, but especially a place like Borger. So the politicians were corrupt, and the police were corrupt, and the police and the politicians that were brought in to replace those corrupt police and politicians were also corrupt. They wanted to get the Rangers to leave so that the vice operations and all the illicit profits were going to come back again. And that's what they were up against. It was entrenched corruption. It could hide and it was going to come back again. And the Rangers are very direct and they're very overworked. They want to get out of town and do something better with their time. So you get a smiling faced politician who promises to clean up everything, you're going to be inclined to believe him, even if you don't. So Borger is an enduring problem, and more than one ranger is going to be wrapped up into trying to clean it up. And the other captain of note is Thomas Hickman. And he came in after Frank Hamer had left, basically. He ran the political cleanup part of it, which didn't go as well maybe as the street cleanup. It's easy to clean up the streets. You can beat up a couple of people, you can clean out prostitutes, you can close speakeasies, you can even arrest bootleggers. But what do you do about the politicians? What do you do about the corrupt cops? How do you clean that part of it up? And a lot of that fell on Hickman, and that's not an easy part of the equation. I got a lot of material for this book from family memories. And if there's one plea in the book that isn't in the book, it's preserve your records, preserve your family memories, preserve those interesting stories that you hear from especially your older relatives. There is a story of a piano player who told his family that he used to dive for cover in one of these dance halls when the shootings happened, plural. And he had this move down where he would dive behind the piano. And if that little nugget wasn't recorded by the family, I wouldn't have it to share. And that says so much about the dance hall. It says so much about the town. It says a lot about the piano player too. So think about that, preserve that, make sure that that's saved somewhere. It's important, even if it doesn't seem important, it may be, and it's probably important to your family. Just save it. Someone like me could be coming around in 100 years, and it could be the best thing that they ever found.